In this video, I'm going to share my intimacy hack. You ready? Let's get to it. Intimacy is the comfort and the understanding, the unspoken comfort and understanding in the space between you. You cannot talk or sex your way to a great intimate relationship. That right there, that's my intimacy hack. I call it a huddle. It creates the connection that you can feel, and that's what heals. Think about it. In sports, a huddle is what the team does to get their head in the game. It's the huddle that separates the outside world from the sanctity of the team. They turn off the outside world, including the language, and they turn on those little hut hut sounds. Those little hut hut sounds are how they communicate. So, for example, in an intimate relationship, you need emotional intelligence. And people think they have to talk about emotions. But emotion means energy in motion. Emotions need to be emoted. So, the sound, that's how you emote your energy. Sometimes we get their emotions. Sometimes we get caught in trying to use words to express our emotions. And that can be really hard. It's hard to express emotions, and it's hard to feel somebody else's emotions. But if somebody goes, oh, you know exactly when they're feeling. When they go, ooh, you know what they're thinking. Or you might have to ask, is that a good sound or a bad sound? That's how you learn to get to know each other. Just like those partners, those sports team partners, athletes. Emotional intelligence, the way that I describe it, is think about a sports team, a soccer team, and you're about to throw the ball. Okay, football team, and you're about to throw the ball, and you're like, yeah, yeah. But you see your partner going, and you immediately understand the signals and the cues so that you're able to understand what your partner is needing at that moment. And you don't continue to throw that ball. No. Emotional intelligence is being able to read your partner, read your teammate, your playmate, and understand what they need in that moment, that exact moment. And in that moment, the football player doesn't say, well, why do you need that? Why are you feeling that way? You're wrong. They understand that it's a different perspective. So I look at you as an offense and a defense, a sender and a receiver, a physical and an emotional. And when you learn to play together, you make a perfect team. And when you're using those sounds, you're learning to communicate from the heart right in the moment. Those little sounds, those little huddle sounds, those are called vocables. It's the origin of vocabulary. It needs no definition. It's a universal language understood by everybody at every age, understood by everybody at every age. You can sense what somebody is going through. And intimacy also means a familiarity. So when you're getting familiar with your partner's sounds, you know what's going on for them. And you're not going to ask what's going on, what's wrong, because then we're going to get into the emotions, and we're staying in connection. Intimacy is about feeling safe in connection, that space between you. And so when you're talking, so if you're listening to me, you're going, those sounds, those huddle sounds, let me know that you're with me, that you're understanding what I'm saying. I can tell if you're understanding or not understanding. It is the base form of communication. So sometimes people will say, well, they're not talking to me. They aren't sharing. I'm just talking to the wall. This is how you respond, by listening and going, Even an means I'm with you. Whether I agree with you or not is okay. At least I'm with you and you're not here alone. That's the whole point of being in an intimate relationship, is so that you don't feel like you're alone. Think about it when you're at the dinner table or when you're eating something. It's science. I didn't make this up. I just discovered it. when you're eating something delicious and you're like, that's how you express your tastes, which are always changing, and your desires, which are always changing, and what you're in the mood for, which is always changing. And also hard to put into words. What are you in the mood for? I don't know. Sometimes you don't know until you actually see that dish come out of the kitchen, right? And you're like, I do want some of that. And that's natural. It's okay. You're not supposed to know what you want all the time. These things take practice. Sometimes your head's over here, but the more you huddle, the more you're able to share your tastes and your desires with your partner, even while you're eating. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And I encourage you to practice using those sounds while you're eating to share. And you'll see that it locks in the memory also, that you remember what you tasted, you remember eating it more. And then in the bedroom, I want you to remember this. Everything starts with a huddle. That huddle sound, even if you're faking it at first, it's okay. Think about little Johnny the first time he went to Little League and they all went, hey ho, go team. It felt awkward. Maybe he was faking it, but he soon realizes the mind-body connection that it makes and how it unifies the team. And then he looks forward to it because it's that huddle that's like, I'm in it. And you drop the outside world. So when you practice this, when you go to the bedroom, this is your consent. That's how you know if somebody's with you or not. Are you with me? Everything starts with a huddle. And just like at the dinner table, you're sharing your sensual pleasure, your senses, taste, touch, sound, sight, sound. So you are sharing sensual pleasure. And that is the most vulnerable thing that you can do in and out of the bedroom, and vulnerability takes practice. And the tool that you're going to use to practice being vulnerable with yourself and with your partner is, can you stop talking? Can you stop all the action for just 3 little breaths and share a huddle? The palm on your chest, and answer these 3 little questions for me. Are you here? Are you okay? Are you willing? That's it. That is a complete and full huddle. You can just make the sound. That's easier. I get it. And if you're by yourself, your goal is to get your partner to give you a natural huddle. A good way to do that is a hero hold. You'll find it in my TED Talk where you're holding your partner from behind and you're getting them to make a huddle sound. Can you feel me? Does it feel good? Keep your hands still. I talk about it more in my program. Also, I even mention it in my TED Talk because it's so important to keep your hands still on somebody. Oh, so good. Build the connection that you can feel. It's that sound. Can you feel me? Are you with me? Let me know in the comments. And this is your practice. This is your intimacy practice to hack your intimacy between the two of you, warm up the space. If there's no vibe, this is a good way to put a vibe in. You're setting the tone for what's coming next. Or, right? Is it time for chores or is it time for dessert? And these things take practice. So just like if you were a football player, you'd be playing by practicing with the ball, practicing by playing with the ball. The huddle is your intimacy hack. So play with it. Let it do the work for you. Sound good? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense to you, and let me know what topics you'd like me to cover. And I'm Amy Culler, your intimacy coach, and I'm here to change the way that we do intimate relationships. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay with me if you're interested in my program where I help people get out of the power struggle so that they can get to the love you man phase. You'll find a link in the description that'll take you directly to my calendar or my webinar, and I look forward to connecting with you. In the meantime, stay connected to yourself, each other, and me, and I'll see you soon.